We have a very expansive, elaborate report to play to you to get to understand all the happenings yesterday around 10 p.m. while all this happened. But we've been here as early as 6 a.m. today. This committee room, which was damaged yesterday, has been fixed up. The committee members, as you will see, have already started taking their seat. Let's talk to people. Let's get an understanding of what is expected to happen here today. Honorable, welcome to Joy News. You saw what happened yesterday. We are here this morning to get on the work. What are your own expectations?
So yeah, what happened yesterday was a very sad spectacle, and I think we are very sad about it, and all of us, after reflecting over it, are feeling really sad. And I think that's what I can say about it. But for today, it's a new day, and I'm hopeful that we will behave differently. There will be decorum, and we'll be able to go on to vet the ministers to get government to continue to run. That's my expectation this morning.
Wow. So, Professor Titus Bay expects that the process will go on. I'll go to this honorable member who is also here pretty shortly. But as you can see, the committee room has been completely fixed up. If you were not here yesterday or you did not see what happened here yesterday, you will not realize that there have been changes and microphones were destroyed yesterday. A lot of very, very ugly scenes in Parliament yesterday. All these situations have been remedied. The microphones fixed and the members already seated, ready to do their job. I can count 1, 2, 3, 4. I can count 6 NDC MPs on the committee, and this is a committee that is made up of 7 NDC MPs, and then 7 NDC MPs, and then 4 NPP MPs, and then 2 subject committee members, 4 on each side. They are already here. Perhaps that means if they get one more person, they can form quorum and even start the vetting. We expect that they will start the vetting this morning with Kwabena Mintakando, the health minister designate. This morning also, Parliament is limiting guests. There are absolutely very few guests, if any at all, who will be allowed to come in here today, and then for this vetting to happen. So let's speak to more persons and get an understanding of how they are going to manage this process. You can see the chairman there in an interaction with his ranking member, trying to set out what exactly the key issues are, what will be the modalities. I'll go to Roxy Nelson, the family pretty shortly, but he's on the call. But for those of you just catching up, we'll play our report for you pretty shortly for you to get to understand what happened. But for now, yesterday, the NPP MP said they were not going to allow any more persons to be vetted after 5 persons had already been vetted. My majority chief, briefly, thank you very much for joining us on Joy News. I mean, given all that happened yesterday, do we have some understanding for this process to proceed this morning in peace and calm?
Yes, of course. The process is so far has been peaceful. You know what happened yesterday? Yesterday was very peaceful. It was the minority who, after 4 vettings, we had agreed, we had scheduled to originally to vet 6 for Thursday. Yesterday was Thursday. What happened was we had rolled over the persons nominees that we could not vet on Wednesday and added 1 to yesterday's schedule to be 7, and the rest offloaded to today. So yesterday we were to have vetted 7. That's why, as a carryover from yesterday, we have 3 persons. If we had vetted them, we would have done 7 for yesterday. Very simple understanding. But they decided to be riotous, to be chaotic, to simply not agree to anything.
The minority leader says there was no such agreement, and that they actually agreed to only do 3, and then you beg them to add 1 more.
I mean, where does this make sense? Because this week's calendar was agreed last week. The persons we are vetting this week, we agreed on them from last week. That is why Monday we knew who and who were vetting on Monday. On Tuesday we knew who and who were vetting on Tuesday. We knew the persons would have vetted on Wednesday, but for Baker Vomawa's issue, they insisted that because as a committee they compelled us to invite Baker Vomawa, and that because of that invitation we should serve our constitutional function slated for that Wednesday.
I remember you made that point.
Yes.
Go ahead and vet.
So if you insisted that what was to have been done on Wednesday was to be shed because of some other matter, you saw how Baker's proceedings went. Maximum 2 hours were done. We could have spent the rest of the day to deal with the persons we ought to have vetted, but they insisted. So we didn't do any work properly, so-called. So as a committee made up of both minority and majority, when the minority insists that this is what we think should be done, should that be the decision of
then that's why you have 7-4. You should have taken a vote.
Good. Even when you ask that a vote be taken, they say no. They won't participate in the voting. They will be chaotic. Yesterday, if you recall, when they were insisting that after taking Nikbe, the Honorable Minister for Transport, they won't continue. I said, why? Every decision of the committee is a matter for for how the committee will work. It's a matter of a decision. So let's put it to a vote. They know that they will lose. So the decision to even put that matter to a vote was also resisted. So clearly these were not a people who were amenable to a decision. A decision is not when the minority says it is. So it could not be a decision. So they should stop saying there was a decision. There was no decision. There was no agreement. They proposed that it should be 4. We said, no, we have a lot of backlogs to clear. So you cannot be limiting the committee's work to a lower number when we're capable of doing a higher figure. So we want to assure the nation that today will be peaceful as usual, but the rules may vary a bit. We'll streamline even the fact that if you are a non-member, some used to have opportunity to ask questions because you saw people like Honorable Abu Jinapo and all. They no longer will have those privileges. We'll play strictly by the rule and things will proceed.
How about the minority leaders' unlimited right to ask questions? Would that be looked at?
It's subject to a review because it's been abused thus far. Because you see, I made a point yesterday that the rules apply to proceedings in the chamber as well as to committees. And let me use my favorite phrase, mutatis mutandis. So even in the chamber, you are always here with us. The leaders don't have an indefinite time limit to even make statements or to even make contributions on the floor. Speaker is able to say, leadership, leaders have 30 minutes or 45 minutes.
I think your chairman wants to talk to you, so.
So that will be done today.
Thank you very much, Roxy Nelson. I would have wished I would have asked him more questions about what happened yesterday and all that. There are a few issues that are supposed to be trashed out, a few issues to be ironed out. I would have wished I would go to the chairman also, Bernard Ahiafo, and get to talk to him. Mahama Yarega has also come in to try and get some understanding of what exactly is going on. He says it is very likely they are going to review this process of allowing the minority leader to ask unlimited questions. He says Afenyo-Markin has abused that right. We will also be covering a news conference shortly. Afenyo-Markin is about to address a press conference any moment from now. When it starts, we'll bring that live to you right here on Joy News. But the big news this morning, the melee, the chaos, the issues that have been the meeting has been called to order. Chairman says they are about to start a vetting. Let's get in there and hear what exactly the chairman is going to say. Well, they're asking the nominee to take a seat. The MPP MPs are not here, but vetting is about to start.
In the meantime, honourable members, let's have prayers. Almighty God, we humbly beseech Thee to look with favor upon this Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. Grant that it may perform its high duty as in their sight. Give divine guidance to the President of the Republic, endow members of Parliament, and ministers of state with discernment and vision, integrity and courage, that through the labors of government, this land and people may be well and truly served. and their good purposes for the common human life be realized in our midst. O God, grant us a vision of our country, fair as it might be, a country of righteousness, where none shall wrong his neighbor, a country of plenty, where evil and poverty shall be done away with, a country of brotherhood, where all success shall be founded on service, and honor shall be given to the deserving, a country of peace, where government shall rest on the will of the people and the love for the common good. Bless the efforts of those who struggle to make this vision a living reality. Inspire and strengthen our people, that they may give time, thought, and sacrifice to speed the day of the coming beauty of Ghana and Africa. Amen. Honorable members, I direct the clerk to administer the oath.
I hereby administer the oath. I,
Afenyo-Markin,
do in the name of the Almighty God swear
do in the name of the Almighty God swear
that the evidence I shall give before this committee
that the evidence I shall give before this committee
touching the matter in issue shall be the truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you very much. Honorable Minister Designate, in 2 minutes, just tell us about yourself.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, my name is Afenyo-Markin. I started my basic education in Sefria Krofu, Sefria Sankrum, and finally wrote my BEC at the Kumdom Junior High School. I proceeded to Anglican Senior High School in Kumasi, then subsequently to University of Cape Coast to pursue mathematics and statistics. I did my national service at Jaboso Senior High School. My first employment with national service at the headquarters at the department, voluntary department. I subsequently became the Member of Parliament for Jaboso constituency from 2013 till date. In 2015, I was made a Deputy Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. From 2017 to 2018, I was the Deputy Ranking Member on Lands and Forestry in the Ghana's Parliament. From 2018 till date, I have been the Ranking Member on the Parliamentary Select Committee on Health. I did my LLB with Mount Crest University College. I did my LLM with the University of Ghana, Legon. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Honorable Nominee. Before proceeding with the vetting questions, kindly indulge me. In 2 minutes, I would read a statement on the happenings of yesterday.
Very well, Mr. Chairman.
Honorable members, last night, during our sitting, what started as a disagreement between members of the committee with regard to vetting some of His Excellency the President's ministerial nominees degenerated into a full-blown physical altercation between members of the committee, leading to the destruction of some furniture and microphones in the committee room and disruption of proceedings, causing the sitting to end abruptly. The damage to these items affected the functionality of the committee and has also tarnished the dignity of the institution and its members. Upon assessment of the extent of the damage, one microphone was damaged beyond repairs and has been replaced. Fortunately, this morning, proceedings will carry on without any technical hinge. It is essential that we assure a swift return to order and maintain the integrity of our parliamentary process. The action that unfolded last night have drawn significant concern from the public and are cause for reflection on the conduct of professionalism of our members of parliament and the institution of parliament. It is crucial that we restore confidence in our committees' ability to function effectively and responsibly. While forcefully, disagreement during plenary and committees are commonplace, and indeed heckling and filibustering between and among members are permissible. Physical altercations are totally prohibited, and the laws of our country emphatically prohibit saying. What happened last night is totally unacceptable, and we take full responsibility for the unfortunate incident. The appointment committee would like to offer and qualified apology to the Right Honorable Speaker, the leadership and members of Parliament, as well as the general public, for the unfortunate incident. And would like to reiterate that we are committed to working for the growth of our democracy. Going forward, I implore all members to conduct themselves in a way befitting members of Parliament, bearing in mind that this is an honorable house, where not only the rule of law, but the onerous rules and procedure governing parliamentary practice are upheld at all times. Growing a democracy is always a difficult process, but agreeing to disagree with colleagues is the honorable way to handle issues. I therefore call on all colleagues to keep in mind that the duties given to us put us in a privileged position to serve our country and be good example for those who would come after us. The people who put us here in Parliament expect us to act in a way that will unite us as a people, and it is incumbent on us to take this task seriously. Please, let's conduct ourselves in this manner. Once again, our sincere apology to the general public. We assure you that appropriate measures will be put in place to address this issue and prevent recurrence of such incidents in future. We, as members of this committee, will continue to work in unity and dignity for the furtherance of our parliamentary democracy and the good of our multi-party democracy. Thank you for granting me the audience.
Chairman, I wanted your guidance on something, because yesterday something happened under Order 64. And I wanted to find out that in determining the quorum for the commencement of a meeting of this nature, whether it is the original members you used to get the ratio of the 1/3, or the subject committee members are incorporated for the purposes of it. If I may just, so Chairman, if I may just get your standing orders. If you look at Order 64, you realize they talk about the quorum issue and whether you are using the original members in determining the quorum, or you are using subject members to do this.
You think you are partisan, Clerk? Honourable members, can there be some order? If the clerk thinks that she's a party clerk, she will see if the clerk to the committee thinks that she's here to do NDC business. She will see how to do it. Yes. If the clerk to Parliament, there was a call for a meeting. There was a chief whip call for a meeting for us to engage in agreement. We all agreed to have a meeting this morning. You, chief whip, you have called my chief whip. We are waiting to have a meeting so that we can all do it. Who said we are against vetting? They know the clerk. When we were in power, you would insist that until you get the minority, you call a meeting. You don't even notify us. You are doing your party business. You this clerk. Is that the way a civil servant should behave? It's a shame on you. You this clerk. It's a shame on you. You this clerk. If you want to destroy Parliament, we will not spare you. You this clerk. You this clerk. We will engage you this clerk. We all agree. We are not against your government. We are not against your government. We've been cooperating that we should have a meeting. You should be fair to us for the meeting. You should be fair to us. You should be fair to us. We have helped you. We have helped you. We are ready to help you. Don't mistreat us. Don't mistreat us. The fact that we are a minority, don't mistreat us. We have helped you. No opposition ever helped a government to form a government as quickly as possible this time. What else do we do? And you this partisan tribe. When I was majority leader, you insist that the minority must be heard. Today, you call for a meeting without us. You think we are going to be quiet? A shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. We will not want you there. We will not stand in there. We don't need you as a champion. We are not fair. We don't want to vote. We should suspend. Have a meeting. We have a meeting. We cooperate with you. Let us have a meeting. This clerk. We are not going to allow. Nobody is going to happen. I can assure you. All of you should have.
Some more chaos here. The appointment committee again. The vetting had started. The nominee, Kwabena Minta Akando, had taken his seat. In fact, he had been asked to introduce himself. He had done that, and the chairman had read a statement apologizing for what happened yesterday and taking responsibility. And then the NPP MPs walked in, saying that they are not going to allow the vetting process to go on until there's a committee meeting. and that the clerk to the committee should have invited a committee, and in fact they had notified them that they needed a committee meeting to happen, for which reason without that they are not going to allow the process to happen. And by clerk, the clerk you are hearing is the clerk to the committee. The clerk to the committee is almost like the administrative head of the committee. He is supposed to write the report. He is supposed to undertake certain administrative processes that are necessary to enable the vetting go ahead. The clerk himself, that is the clerk to parliament, that is the overall head of the parliamentary service, Ebenezer Humajetro, is the one you will see behind the chairman of the committee wearing an African print and trying to calm things down. He is trying to calm things down, given all the altercation that is happening, and the NPP MP setting on the clerk to the committee. Mahama Yariga is trying to calm things, perhaps to invite for a meeting to happen. We will hear from the chairman pretty shortly, who has put on his microphone to sort of give us an indication of what is going to happen.
Let's have some order. Can we have some order? All members, order. All members, I will suspend.
Proceeding suspended for 5 minutes. Honorable Frank Anodom Prayer, the case you've made, what exactly is
okay,
the point?
So because of what happened this morning, to be fair to them, the majority chief whip called me as a fellow whip and said that we should meet. Then I told him we were having a caucus meeting. They should just give us about 30 minutes or an hour. We will come and engage. Then we can agree on the schedule. We were in a meeting, we didn't even close. Then they went ahead to start vetting. That is totally wrong. It's a display of bad faith. And you see, you don't treat your colleagues with such disrespect. Ask him whether he called me or not. Ask him what I told him. You could have just waited for an hour. We will come and then we agree on what to do. We are not against him. And that is, a while ago you saw me go to him and talk to him. He's one of us. We have no objection. But we want to shadow things and shadow things properly and do the work well. It's as simple as that.
Honorable, a brief one. So the suspension has been taken. Is that satisfactory? 10 minute suspension.
Well, it is not to satisfy us. It's for due process and for us to ensure mutual understanding and mutual respect. We are not looking for our satisfaction. We want respect to be mutual and for us to have a due process so that it will be, it will be free of chaos. That's all we want. So when we go there, we can engage. Let's agree on the number of nominees to vet. We don't want surprises, and then we can comply.
So that is the minority chief whip being told to actually organize this meeting. Let me get to what the action is, and I'll talk to Honorable Kojo Pankruma pretty sure. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Dr. Stephen Amoa also here. Let me get a bit closer to the action and get to hear what is happening here with a lot of the MPs speaking.
She's your problem. She's the problem. Your clerk is a problem. And we don't want that. She's a problem. And Roxanne is behaving like a minority whip. You need to understand. How can you betray us?
Let me talk to the Member of Parliament for mention of Honorable. What are the key issues that the minority are raising with regards to the vetting process continuing this morning?
They never told us.
You see, the point is this: he who comes to equity must come with clean hands. The majority whip called minority whip and our leader that there should be a caucus meeting between the committee before the vetting starts. Whilst we wait for the meeting to start, all that we saw is that they sworn in somebody to vet. Do you think that is fair? Do you think that is fair, Kwaku? Do you think that is fair? You've called them. They are waiting for you for a meeting to start. Then you sneak in and come and swear in somebody to start vetting. That is not fair. That is the same thing that they did yesterday. Once they've agreed to vet 3 individuals, we managed and negotiated to 5 individuals. But you kept insisting that you have scheduled 10 people and that all the 10 people must be vetted in one day. Kwaku, that is not fair. We have at least stood down the standing orders for them, and that motion was moved by the minority leader that even when Parliament is not in session and there's a communication from the President, vetting can continue. Even the normal convention of 3 weeks to 2 weeks to 3 weeks publication of nominees, we suspended all that so that we can have a fast government for you. It doesn't mean that we must be sneaking in and doing what is not right. That is the problem.
Right. I mean, Samuel, one would say that your side is simply interested in frustrating the process. Is that the case?
No, not at all. Last night, it was agreed that this morning the leadership will meet. Then afterwards, we chart a way forward. The minority were in waiting. Whilst we were caucusing, then we see it on TV that we have sworn in a new nominee. So meaning that technically we were going to proceed with the process without at least also giving us the benefit of the doubt and for us to be part of the process. That's not cool.
Thank you, Baba. Congratulations. Thank you, Baba.
So basically, we feel that they've been unfair to us. We want to help them form government, but they shouldn't take us.
They shouldn't take you for granted. The meeting has ended. There was a 5-minute meeting outside, which has just ended. The minority and majority leaders have walked in together with the chairman. I heard the minority leader gesturing that the vetting is about to start, and so we'll get to know pretty shortly if they will indeed start the vetting, or we will see the chaotic scenes we did see yesterday with regards to the vetting. Alexander Afenyo-Markin is in, all the other persons are in. The security are trying to clear the space behind the chairman and his committee, because Mahama Ayariga says they have made the decision. He's trying to calm his chief whip down so that this vetting process can continue, and ultimately Kwabena Minta-Kando, who has already been sworn in as a nominee before the committee, can have his vetting, can have his questions asked, and ultimately this process will continue. There was chaos yesterday. We've seen more chaos this morning, only that this chaos has not gone in the way we saw yesterday with fisticuffs. This process hasn't gone in that way. Mahama Ayariga asking people to actually take their seats. We will get to hear pretty shortly from the chairman what the decision is in terms of going for, in terms of what exactly they are going to do about this nominee. The chairman of the committee is speaking. We will take you in and hear from the chairman.
Honourable members, order. Honourable members, order. Honourable members, before I suspend for conclave, there was an issue on the floor based on Order 64 regarding quorum. This being a parliamentary sitting, Article 102 also comes to play. Honourable members, I always maintain that when a procedure is set down for a right to be exercised, it is that procedure that you follow in exercising the right. When we talk about quorum, we are talking about a number of members of parliament. Any law that permits ministers to attend upon parliament does not give right to the minister to be counted as part of the quorum. If our standing order permits subject matter committee members to take part in the proceedings, doesn't mean that they are committee members and as such should be part of the quorum. So, honourable members, it accords with common sense and reason that when we are talking about quorum, we are talking about members of the committee. Thank you very much.
So, Chairman, I have withdrawn that information, and thanks for the information. I have withdrawn the quorum issue. Thank you.
Honourable members, it is a guided culture of parliament that before you on your microphone to speak, you need to catch the eye of the speaker. And in this case, the eye of the chairman. I don't expect us to just on a microphone and begin to talk without catching the eye of the chairman. I think this particular practice must stop. Can we make progress, honorable members? Let there be some order. I will then give the floor to the ranking member, and then we'll proceed.
Chairman, with respect, thank you for the opportunity. Colleagues, we are here to vet our colleague who is the health minister designate. The understanding we had in the morning was to have a discussion prior to this engagement. We were taken by surprise that the clerk, without notice to us, was administering the oath. That notwithstanding, I think we've had a discussion to proceed with this vetting and so thereafter resolve all outstanding matters. So, honorable members, we shall proceed to do the vetting for our colleague Kwabena Minta Akando, and we believe that Chair, in good faith, as he's always been known for, will do just that, so that we resolve all outstanding matters without any further rancor. We want to assure the Ghanaian people that our side does not seek to obstruct government business. Our side is committed to fully cooperating with government to form its cabinet and to get all appointments through. We have gone outside the normal time. This is the first time that nominees have been fast-tracked since 1992. As a leader of my side, I've taken full responsibility because I believe that governance is a continuum and we should not frustrate it. We will do just that. But I would also plead with my colleagues on the other side that, just as Mr. Speaker told us yesterday in the chamber, if we would want to follow our followers, there will be no peace in Parliament. We have the mandate of the people, and we must ensure that we are collectively measured to everything that we do in here. I will humbly urge all hardliners to step down their hardline stance so that they help the chair and my good self to manage the affairs of this committee in all transparency. Chairman, thank you for the treasure space, and I assure you one more time of my fullest cooperation together with my colleagues. Thank you.
Honorable members, we'll proceed with the vetting.
We have only one question. Only one question. Only one question. Only one question.
Order. In view of the fact that I'm here to take the list of the subject matter committee members, I will want to start from my right by giving the floor to Honorable Haji Alade.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for the opportunity. As for the congratulations, I will always make sure I congratulate my people. And when I say bye-bye, bye-bye for the best. Mr. Chairman, congratulations, Honorable Akando. I have been in the chamber with you for not less than 12 years. And I have watched and observed your activities. I know how hard you have worked, and I know how far you have gone. I'm not surprised as the ranking member for health, that you have been nominated. There's nothing better than working and being rewarded. You deserve it. Honorable Akando, I want to ask this question. We have a backlog of about 20,000 allied health workers sitting unemployed, and about 60,000 nurses waiting. What will you do to ensure that these people are employed and that those who are already at work and had issues of remittances on COVID-19, which you had counted so much about its funds, what will you do to remit them so that they will give out their best as and when they are being asked to come and work? Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have only one question, and that is it. Congratulations, and I wish you the best.
Honorable Akando, let me start by telling you that when a question is asked, just go straight to answer the question, and just that question. I'll call upon Dr. Ayu Afriye, a subject matter committee member.
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, respectfully, with your permission, Honorable Minta Akando, I would be referring to him as Abna, if you would permit. Thank you. Kwabena, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
We, just like my leader has directed, we are showing good faith, and we in the minority will continue to show good faith. And as an obedient person to my caucus, you would get to understand when the leader is speaking. Having worked with you in the health sector, you would bear with me that health insurance or healthcare financing is a very topical issue in the country. And it was, and it has been in all elections. In 2009, the then MPP government handed over 300 million cedis, equivalent to $3 million, liquid cash, positive balance for the NHIA. In 2016, the NHIA providers were owed in arrears of about 1.2 billion and about 12 months delayed payments. As we sit now, would you assure us, given that you are made a minister, and if you are aware also that the NHIA has a positive balance of about 700 million cash, investments of about 300 million, close to about 1 billion sitting in now under the visionary government of Nana Addo Dankwa Showboys regime. So with that cash sitting there, do we have assurance that, given you as a minister, by the end of another cycle, there would always be positive balance and no delays in payments to providers?
Thank you very much. Before answering the question, Honorable Member, who is Nana Addo Dankwa Showboy?
The former
so
president.
I kindly direct you to withdraw accordingly.
I withdraw the show by the former president, Nana Addo Dankwa Kufuor.
Very well. Showboy withdrawn.
May you proceed to.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, just like my chairman has rightly indicated, all figures pertaining to the National Health Insurance Formula are usually available to the committee or to the House when we are going to approve the next formula. So, for example, these figures may be available to us at the committee level or to Parliament when we are going to approve the 2025 National Health Insurance Formula. But, Mr. Chairman, per my briefing, we have an arrears of not less than 237 million Ghana cedis. But when I get to the ministry, I will inquire further whether or not there is positive balance. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any further question?
Yes, a follow-up on that. The NHIA's mandate in Act 852 allows it to provide health insurance for one, non-residents. It has not been operational. There's also sections 3, FI and II, talking about access and equity. In the interpretation of access, it said the NHIA could support facilities. Support facilities. It has restricted itself in only claims payments. What would you do by taking advantage of what has not been done? And would you also seek to bring an LI for the NHIA? According to Act 852, it has none. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, when approved by the committee, I will work with the appropriate courtesies to bring the LI. And your next question had to do with the access bit in the National Health Insurance Act. Mr. Chairman, I will study the act critically and then give it more attention. Thank you.
Second question. Mr. Chairman, there was this allegation on
How can this
ambulance.
be your second question? This is the third question that we are asking.
So there was this allegation about ambulance parts in October by the minority. It was under the then minority, now majority. I beg your pardon. The allegation sought to say the supplier did not honor the obligations to his contract. It was under the Ministry of Special Development. What I have here, if Mr. Chairman, with your permission, is ambulance service confirming delivery of all parts and obligations of the contractor. Would you, when giving the nod, delve into this for the public to have an understanding of where the issue and the perspective of this issue in the public interest? Mr. Chairman, this is my last question, and before he answers, I would want to say congratulations in advance. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Proceed to give your answer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, with respect to the spare parts of ambulance and the contract between the company which is supposed to maintain the ambulances and the Republic of Ghana, per my briefing, these are the facts. Because, Mr. Chairman, if approved by the committee, I am determined to investigate that particular matter. So I can only give you the facts as I was briefed. Mr. Chairman, the facts are that, number one, that same company was given the opportunity to buy not less than 307 ambulances at the rate of $41 million. And Mr. Chairman, per my briefing, the contract I have seen, then the minister went ahead to sign a contract for the maintenance of the 307 ambulances at the rate of $77 million in 5 years. Mr. Chairman, don't forget that we all have cars. The deterioration of any car is not as much as the last 5 years, the first 5 years or 4 years. Your machines may not be deteriorated that much. And so these are the facts available to me, and I am going to institute investigation into the matter. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was a question emanating from Haji Aladi regarding the nurses trainees, the backlog.
Yes. Mr. Chairman, the unemployment with regard to health professionals in this country is alarming. And the issue has to do with the effect on the wage bill. And therefore, there is the need for us to think outside the box, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, what I'm going to do is probably to link up with other countries so that we in the ministry will facilitate the migration of these health professionals to other countries so that we create jobs for them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, by indication, I need to give the floor to Honorable Minority Leader.
My respected colleague, thank you for being here this morning. I know you were expecting to have your day with us last night. I'm sure because of some disagreement, we couldn't have you. That notwithstanding, you've made it again this morning. Let me ask you, first, on your CV, you've indicated you're a farmer. I know you to be a commercial farmer. Not many people know you to be a farmer. Can you share with us what you have done so far in your business life?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I hold the humble view that as a country, we have absolutely no reason to import food into this country. We can feed ourselves. And have spoken about this issue severally. And therefore, I took the trouble upon myself to demonstrate it. And so I started with cocoa farming, then I ventured into rice. Almost every household in this country consumes rice. Mr. Chairman, I start from planting through processing to distribution of rice. I started with not less than 150 acres of rice in the western north region. At the moment, this year, Mr. Chairman, I'm doing not less than 5,000 acres of rice in the Yagaba, So, Kobori, and EZC area in the northern part of the country. And Mr. Chairman, I am determined to even go beyond that. We have not less than 3 processing machines across the country. One in western north, another one in the Somaya area, and then we're putting up another one 15 kilometers towards Yendi in Tamale to even bring in other equipment like the power boil machine to be able to get the right quality of rice to be produced locally for the benefit of the country. Thank you.
Now, when MPP came into office 2017, I opted to stay out of government because I was doing so well in the private sector. I didn't want trouble. Kwabena, you are running, I don't want to use the word multi-million-dollar business. You are doing so well. I admire you, I respect you. You're doing so well in the private sector. I've seen my business go bad because I got into mainstream politics. How have you prepared a system to protect this your investment as you now move into limelight? And you're going to be health minister. That's your multi-million-dollar investment. You want to risk it? You ready?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, this appointment is called to duty. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
Honorable nominee, I do not have any assessment before me that your business is a multi-million-dollar business. So accordingly, the multi-million-dollar aspect of the question is hereby expunged. You may proceed to answer the rest.
Chairman, in that chamber, those of us in the private sector, we know ourselves. So I would accept that multi-million and replace it with, he's doing so well. He's running a very successful, business. I buy equipment from him, and I do business with him, so I know, and he knows. But anyway, so health minister, how?
The question has been asked. May you proceed to give the answer?
Mr. Chairman, it's a company, and I'm not the only director. And so there are other systems to make sure that the company will run. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Now, today, yes, you did BSc Mathematics and Statistics. So I know you will be able to take the necessary questions with tact. There is often held perception that when new government assume office, people from all manner of places approach the new government, and it leads to termination of contracts, frustration of businesses. I have some businessmen who have sent me a message, and because you are a private sector man, they want to know what will be your attitude towards those who would come to you and say, terminate this, investigate this, do that. You mentioned the ambulance thing, for instance. The way you see it may not be how it is. All right? And as a businessman, what measures would you put in place to stop those hardliners who will come to you with that kind of attitude? Terminate, cancel, investigate, stop payment, don't pay, don't do this. What would be your attitude?
Please provide the answer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, we all know that the private sector is the engine of growth. I am not prepared to capriciously terminate any contract. Mr. Chairman, as and when there is a need to inquire into it, I will do so.
Thank you
very much.
The drone services, you become aware of it. What steps would you take as a health minister to improve upon it?
Mr. Chairman, I personally have raised issues on the drone on the floor of the House. And when this committee approves me, I'll further inquire about the drone services. Mr. Chairman, again, let me provide some facts to
Honorable members, order.
Let me provide some facts to the committee on the drone matter. The Chairman, I have the hazards here. Let me first concede and admit that to the extent that the drone services is, extending and supplying essential medications to the hard-to-reach areas in this country is a fantastic idea. Mr. Chairman, as leaders of this country, we owe it as a duty to be candid with the good people of this country. When this particular issue was discussed on the floor of the House, Mr. Chairman, the idea was that they were not going to take money from the government coffers to pay the services of the drone. But Mr. Chairman, we are paying. And then I have seen some contract between Ghana government and the drone services. And therefore, when I come, I'll take my time and then investigate. As and when there is a need, we'll cooperate with them because they are doing a fantastic job in this country. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Kwabran, the last question, and then I would do a few comments. Yes, when my chief whip is doing systems and policies, who am I? Your party has promised a children's hospital in Accra. You are aware?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
What timeline should we expect this?
Mr. Chairman, with respect, let me get to the ministry, talk to the finance minister and my technical officers. Thank you.
So, in this administration, health minister, what is that unique selling proposition you are bringing on board as a government in terms of your health policy? We know Kufuor, when you go on the street, you say health insurance, they say Kufuor. When you hear free SHS, they say Akufo-Addo. When you hear Metroma, they say Kufuor Bus. What is that unique selling proposition you are bringing on board as a government in the health sector?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, per our manifesto, we have promised free primary health care. And we are going to ensure that primary health care is free. The Chairman, we have also promised that we are going to establish a fund called Mahama Care.
Honorable members, let's have some order to listen to the answer.
Again, we have promised in our manifesto to establish a fund called Mahama Care Fund to take care of chronic diseases. The Chairman, it is our determination to make sure that Ghana becomes pharmaceutical hub. Thank you.
Honorable nominee, there is nothing further to add. We want to assure you that we're not taking a vote on you. We, outside, would support our friends to pass you by consensus. We are done. And Chairman, take note that we spent less than 30 minutes on this nominee. I spent, no, it's important. It's important. One good turn deserves another. We spent less than 30 minutes. I asked him only 3 key questions and we've discharged him. So don't complain if we spend more time on another. Don't.
Honourable members, the indication from my right side is that I should have the opportunity to conclude. Honourable members, in conclusion, I acknowledge our revered guest behind the nominee, giving him the moral support. First on my list is Mrs. Lydia Nkrumah, the spouse of the nominee. Then we have Nana Bochi Ababio, the father of the nominee. Nana Ofori Ahinkan II, Sehui Bonzanhini, and Kronti Hini of Sehui. We are so traditional council. We also have Nana Agrema II, Chief of Joaboso. We have Nana Kwesi Ababio, Chief of Bodi. We have Nana Kwesi Eduhini I, Chief of Jenasi. We have Alhaji Hafiz Adam, Chief Director, Ministry of Health. We have Dr. Richard Salome, General Secretary, Ghana Medical Association. And we have Dr. Eric Kofi Njedu, Chief Executive Officer, Cape Coast Teaching Hospital, and Dean of the Chief Executives of Teaching Hospitals. We have Daniel Amanin Dankwa, Registrar Pharmacy Council. Then we have Nana Edu Kwesi, Chief of Survey, and Tobia. We have Michael Edu, NDC Regional Chairman, Western Region. You are all welcome. Well, Western North Region, sorry. Honorable members, I have the pleasure of asking him a question. but I do not have a question for him. He sits so close to me. I know his competencies, and I believed he will deliver. We've seen his potentials as a ranking member on Health Committee. So congratulations on your nominations. You will hear from the committee and you are accordingly discharged.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Honorable members, before our next guest, we'll take a short break. We won't leave the committee room, but we'll request that those who are not members of the committee should humbly leave the committee room, and the committee will do a short discussion on some issues. And this should include the media.